News Watch 12 today with Jackie Smith, Michael Lodholz, and Devin Biggs.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us today. I'm Michael Lodholz.
And I'm Jackie Smith.
With the holidays right around the corner, many kids are thinking about what to ask Santa for Christmas.
Elementary school students in Rhinelander are getting help from FBLA and DECA members from Rhinelander High School.
News Watch 12's Muhammad Abdul-Kawi was at Nativity Catholic School on Tuesday to watch the process in action.
I think it's a pretty great opportunity, especially because I like working with kids.
Reporting in Rhinelander, Muhammad Abdul-Kawi, News Watch 12.
It is nice to see everyone getting in the Christmas spirit a little bit, especially the kids.
Oh, absolutely. And I know, yeah, finding the right Christmas gift, thinking about what you want can be hard. Whenever people ask me, I don't know. So I could use some help from FBLA and DECA.
Exactly. We got a Secret Santa here in the office. A tough thing to do for the office.
But Devin always gives us the gift of weather.
He does. He is a gift all in and of himself.
Oh, I feel touched out there. But you know how many people are going to be touched with? Snow as they move forward out there today. We do have snow across the northwestern parts of the state now. Track it off towards the east. We'll see this moving in by about 9 to 10 o'clock later on this morning. But meanwhile, over in the Rhinelander area, not looking too bad, though. Of course, the holiday lights are on. The road's looking very nice and looking pretty quiet moving forward. But again, this is all tracking off from the west, going toward the east. So very slowly, though, but not a lot of snow with this, maybe a ½ inch or less for most areas. Until you get to about Marathon County and areas south, they won't see anything from this at all. Vilas County may be up to an inch before we're all finished up. Here's a wider look, though, and again, this is kind of the system right here along this cold front, stretching from South Dakota into Minnesota and now into parts of Wisconsin. It'll be a quick mover as it'll be done later on this afternoon. Here's those temperatures right now in the lower 20s from Land O'Lakes, Eagle River, also in the parts of Rhinelander, teens further off towards the north and west, and a little bit warmer further down toward the south. Our forecast moving forward for today, making it up in the middle 20s before we're all finished up, with snow showers for our northern counties, but clouds for everyone else.
Thank you, Devin. The Raptor Education Group in Antigo admitted an injured owl earlier this week. This barred owl was found on the side of the road after being hit by a car. He has a fractured right wing, internal bleeding, and extensive head trauma. Reggie says they are doing everything they can for him. The owl likely wouldn't have had a chance to recover if not for the person who notified Reggie.
And up next in News Watch 12 today, muzzleloader season might be ending today, but Jackie and I, we got to make sure we got out there for the season.
Find out more about muzzleloaders and what makes them so unique. Stay with us. We'll be back soon. Thank you, Devin. Today is the final day of muzzleloader season, a beloved Northwoods tradition.
Yes, so we decided to take a shot and try our hand at shooting the old-timey weapon over in Crandon. Here's how our experience went.
We're here at the Forest County Firing Range with Robert Connor of Northwoods Firearms just down the road. Thanks for coming out with us today, Robert.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. We're here hopefully for muzzleloader season to learn a little bit about what is a muzzleloader. And Jackie's here as well. You know, first time, is it your first time shooting a gun?
It is my first time ever shooting a gun. Not my first time holding one, thanks to Robert, but it is my first time shooting one.
Well, fantastic. Well, we're excited to get it going, and with his expertise, hopefully we can get this going.
Looking forward to it. Theory what a muzzleloader is it's a rifle that you load from the front. So you breech load it, you use a ramrod, and you load it either with a ball or a sabot. Then you usually use a percussion cap or a primer. Today we'll be using the inline muzzleloader, which is the most common that's used today. It's the most modernized version of the muzzleloader. For every muzzleloader, there's 3 basic recipes or ingredients to the recipe. So you got the charge, the projectile, and what ignites it. So you have, in this case, these are white hot pellets. Each pellet's 50 grains. This is the bullet or a sabot. This is a power belt. A true sabot has a sleeve that you put over it, and then you slide it in. This is already on it, so it's kind of like a crossover. And then this is a primer, a 209. This is the same primer that's in a shotgun.
And well, I know nothing.
The theory is to make it harder to use. So that's why muzzleloader season's now, and they don't, it's not, you basically get one shot to make it work. So the odds of you getting to reload this again and shooting deer a second time is slim to none. So. And then this is the ramrod that every muzzleloader has. So you finish it off with this the rest of the way until it hits all the way down. Just give her a couple taps, not very hard, and then that's it. The last step is to put the primer. It won't ignite without the primer, so you don't put the primer in first, you put it in last. So on an inline, you break it open just like a shotgun, and then you put the primer in right here. We'll close it, we'll cock the hammer back and fire. It's that easy. On a rifle, when you squeeze the trigger, you apply direct pressure, steady pressure, and it's a light pull. When you pull the trigger back, don't let go instantly when it fires. Pin the trigger to the rear, and what that does is it ensures that you have a straight follow-through pull on the trigger. Otherwise, what a lot of people do is they'll pull and they'll flick. They call it like a booger flicker, and what it is people are anticipating another shot because most people have been shooting semi-automatics like handguns or shotguns, and they have to reset their finger. On a single shot like this, you want to focus on just steady back and pin it to the rear, and that'll make sure that you're not flinching. You start to develop a trigger panic, and you'll start to flinch. At 50 yards, you don't notice it, but at 400 or 500 yards, you'll go 3, 4, 5 inches out of the way because of that. So, go for it. Oh. Nice. How'd that feel? Nice.
So there's no casings either?
Nope. A traditional muzzleloader doesn't break open, so it just dead ends. And you can never get the rear end of the bore clean because it just stops. So this way here you can push a cleaning rod completely through. Plus you can look through and make sure it's not loaded, right? You can see daylight?
Yes.
Okay. And what's nice is to know if the person that gave it to you didn't have a charge in it and you just double loaded it. So that's pretty important not to do that.
Gosh, that was a fun time to get out there.
That was good. He was so knowledgeable about everything, and I remember right when I pulled it, and even though I knew it was coming, I still turned back and I was surprised it did it because I didn't know when it was going to do it.
Exactly. No, he was very knowledgeable, especially like pulling it back and then holding it all the way back at the end, especially with the one shot. That's just a one-shot thing. Yeah,
and he was very nice to bring the little holder for it too, because I could not have held that and shot it. That would not have worked out.
How did you do, Jackie?
I actually did the best out of all three of us. I hit it let's say this was the target. I was about right here. Michael was about here.
Yep. And
Robert was like up here. He missed it a bit, you know. But yeah, I was very proud of myself. So.
No, she did great. Her first time shooting a gun. And this is my first time shooting a muzzleloader, so it was a fantastic thing, and a great way to wrap up the muzzleloader season. And we can't thank Robert enough for doing that with us.
For trusting us, for trusting me to hold a gun and to shoot one.
It was great.
But yeah, it was so much fun. Definitely felt very Wisconsin. But coming up, we have What's Trending, including the odd companion TSA found in a carry-on here in Wisconsin.
Plus, learn more about the Oxford Dictionary's Word of the Year. Those stories up next in What's Trending.
Like open the fridge and stuff, and they're talking.
Welcome back. It's 6:16, and it's time for What's Trending.
I am totally out of breath because we only had 30 seconds for that break, and I had to sprint over here.
You did a little more than sprint. That was a big run.
Acrobatic.
Probably almost broke this couch.
Yeah. Well, so there's guns, knives, nunchucks, you name it. Airport screeners have confiscated lots of items that people try to carry on in planes. I know, the first few words in that sentence, you're like, what is Jackie talking about? Well, this week, someone placed a dog in a backpack and tried to get through security at a regional airport in Madison, Wisconsin. The backpack with the dog inside went through the X-ray machine. And the Transportation Security Administration is reminding passengers that all pets need to be in carrying cases. And pet owners must remove their animals and only send an empty carrier through the screening machine. The discovery in Wisconsin comes weeks after someone packed a cat inside a suitcase at JFK Airport in New York.
Now, wasn't the cat unintended?
The cat one was unintended. It was, the cat snuck in, but this seems pretty.
This was purposeful, and I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
Just why?
Yeah, definitely carry your animals safely in the airport.
Yeah, I'd be worried about them in there, you know, barking, you know, maybe not having enough air in there. Also, the X-rays, does that affect them?
I'd be more worried about the lack of air that dog would have.
Lack of air.
Although it's a book bag, so I would hope some kind of air is probably getting through it, but obviously that dog's probably going through more air, so I wouldn't know. So, I mean, props to the TSA for catching this stuff. I mean, there would probably be a lot more problems with animals if it wasn't for the strict security policies they have.
Yeah, and the X-ray is going to see something that big. I know sometimes they might not see everything. They are gonna see that.
They may not catch your miniature bottle of toothpaste, but they'll probably catch.
No, they will catch your miniature bottle.
Really?
No, I don't know.
I
know they're pretty good though. So.
Do you have a confession to make, Michael?
Nope. I definitely checked all of my bags properly in the.
He was carrying 9-ounce bottles of shampoo, people.
Exactly.
All right, he got through.
So horrendous, right?
Moving on from that, sadly, we're resting quietly, all nestled up inside, like on a couch. A carnivorous tree pocket, though, is where a bear is going to be resting, hibernating for the winter. The bear currently sleeps in a tree on Patty Akun's property, much to her dismay. She says she is working with the Deep to have the bear removed. Meanwhile, her neighbors are getting acquainted. Martha Gertie's house backs up against the Akun's property. All that separates her home from the tree is a 6-foot fence, but she says she's not too concerned. Keeping a safe distance is what Kimberly Plum is doing. She lives across the street from the home where the bear has made its temporary residence. According to the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, bears living in the hollowed-out trees like this is not uncommon. As they hibernate, bears will crawl into anywhere they feel safe and out of sight.
Doesn't look like that bear is sleeping.
Yeah, pretty awake bear.
He's just hanging out. Yeah, I think if the bear was just hanging out there, not causing too much trouble, I wouldn't mind it. I would be neighborly.
A bear. I mean, there's cameras looking at that bear, so that bear's probably like, get out of here. I'll just stare at you.
It's like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, right?
It looks like, you know, from like Ron Burgundy, Anchorman, Legend of Ron Burgundy, Anchorman, and Brick Tamlin would say, that's a big furry tractor right there. Just hanging out in the tree.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, he's just minding his own business. He ain't hurting anybody.
Exactly.
He just wants to sleep. I mean, that's what we all want to do.
I mean, yeah, that's what we all want to say. I mean, we wake up early, long before everyone else wakes up too. Usually we're here, most of us are here at 2 a.m. or so, so lots of busy things going on.
Yeah, that bear's living the life.
A little bit of sleep, a little bit of lethargy, though.
Yeah, for sure. If you embrace a bit of lethargy during the pandemic, you're not alone. In fact, that behavior has become such a phenomenon and inspired the Oxford Word of the Year for 2022, goblin mode. Oxford University Press says goblin mode is when you're unapologetically self-indulgent, lazy, slovenly, I think is how you say that, or greedy, and typically in a way that rejects social norms or expectations. It's basically the opposite of trying to better yourself. No 5 a.m. workouts or green smoothies here. This is the first year the Oxford Word of the Year was chosen by the public, and goblin mode beat out its 2 competitors, Metaverse and the hashtag I stand with. And you know what? Very appropriate, though. I think we all can kind of relate to that because I think it's safe to say we all self-indulge, whether it's taking a nap. I know we take naps after our jobs and everything else. I mean, we're burned out afterwards. I mean, we've done a full 8-hour day.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
I mean, some of us go to the gym, some of us go skiing afterwards. Got to enjoy the sunlight in the day, but yeah, that kind of reminds me of like a treat yourself. You know, we all know the phrase "treat yourself," so it's kind of like treat yourself to a nice fat nap.
Treat yourself to goblin mode.
Exactly, right? Goblin mode.
Or in my case, hoping to play some basketball at the Y later this morning as well. So try to exercise at least every now and again. I haven't had a chance to play in several weeks, almost a month, I think.
Because you've been in goblin mode.
Yeah, well, goblin mode has been busy. There's a lot of things going on.
A lot of things going on, like the weather.
Like the weather as well. Let's get right into things right now.